Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This is taken at his 4, and he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
They're going to look to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
First down, he'll drop to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's second down. All right, let's look at the offense. Devontae Freeman, this is a guy that you wanted to talk about, so take it away.
Brandon, have you seen a running back play with such joy as well as such fury? I love the way he runs the football and attacks defenses.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him for his second sack of the night. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 67 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And all the pressure that goes on in these playoffs, but the first score here in the divisional round always very key.
Partner, this team handled it like it was a regular season game, that they were confident in what they were doing, came right out and established themselves early.
5 plays there on that drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Coming out of UCLA, Anthony Barr caused many arguments in the NFL. Not about his talent. That was first round all day. But how would he be used? Defensive end, outside linebacker. With Minnesota, they use him in both spots. And he's been a Pro Bowler in 2 of his first 3 seasons.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for a loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On play action, they'll throw. And he's got Moncrief. Dante Moncrief. Touchdown, Falcons. Dante Moncrief, 65 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Point after now from Sturgis. And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So this brings up a 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop it right around the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And here now the defensive starters for Atlanta.
Deion Jones may be undersized at middle linebacker by traditional standards, but in today's game, he's exactly what you're looking for. His speed allows him to outrun many blocks, get underneath them, and make plays against ball carriers and quarterbacks. Also has the ability to drop into coverage. Had a 90-yard interception return for a touchdown in 2016. His speed has been a real key for Atlanta's renaissance on defense.
And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. 23 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They run the counter now on 1st down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss only in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Jeremiah Talju in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw here. Going deep for Diggs. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, 35 yards. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. They'll come out throwing here on first down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. They'll drop the throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And I don't know what more they need to see of him than what we're going to see in this player montage. He's been great. Why aren't they winning this game, I guess, is the question.
It is a good question, isn't it? Remember the time we spent with them in practice beforehand and had that little twinkle in his eye where he thought, hey, we can get some bombs in this game. We can get deep, and that's exactly what's going on. But I don't think he thought if they could do that, that they'd be on the losing end.
They might need more of this air raid. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Jeremiah Tauchu in there to drop it for his second sack now here tonight. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on. Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense.
He's got a man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on 1st down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for.
Let's go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
They'll run here with Freeman. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Again, it'll be Freeman. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This offense so far on third down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. So with 4th down looming, Dan Quinn sends out his field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach, but it kept the offense out of the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Oh, now Hopkins slow to get up here. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
1 quarter gone in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. 17-7 our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. They'll set up to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, shifty. Whoa. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Second down, Freeman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Again, a first down carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Linval Joseph busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Falcons on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Here we go now. Play 19.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Hurry up, here we go. Play 19.
He'll look to throw. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but could not.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Oh, the Falcons fly in and they block it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. And the Atlanta Falcons are in for the touchdown.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
And he'll bang that one through. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And here now the offense heading back out there. One semi-factor, if you want to call it that was brought up in the papers this morning here, Charles. You got a dome team on the road in a cold weather environment, first round of the playoffs in January. Do you think that's a big deal?
Ordinarily, I say no. But in this situation, because you're used to that perfectly controlled environment, some coaches will want their teams exposed to it. And if you're coming from a warm weather place and, even getting outside of your dome doesn't really help you, a lot of times they'll go on the road a little bit earlier. Go to a cold weather place, go to a place where there's a little bit of weather and practice there that week before the game to try and simulate the conditions they expect come game day.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Gets it up around the 22, but no further. Did flash the fancy footwork, but not much to show for it. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. They'll set up a throw. Caught here by Conley. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Oh, the Falcons fly in and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Now Sturgis on to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. A deep ball for Dotson. In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And now running right through it. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Let's go!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Falcons averaged 34 points a game last year, tops in the NFL with that powerful offense, and they're already looking for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. Back to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Noah Spence in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He goes underneath to Freeman. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it 1st and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
I got 87. I got 87. That's speed, boy. Here we go now. Speed 19.
They'll look to throw. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It goes as a gain of 8 that moves the chains. They'll look to throw here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And now it's second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Single. All right, here we go. Green, third.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Grady Jarrett in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They're going to look to throw. It's brought in by Doxson. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Down, he'll drop to throw it. He sets up the screen to Jones. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Let's go.
Back to throw again. This will be caught at about the 5. Now we're signaling a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. This is the most important of them all, 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
Because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll see if I can get through this without being skipped as we welcome you to our EA Sports halftime report. The Falcons have to be thrilled with the way they're playing right now. The Vikings, though, have fought so hard to get to this point and now are being blown out at the break. All right, let's roll those highlights. Falcons with the ball midway through the first. Here the pass is completed into coverage, and it ends up working for a touchdown. That puts them up by 2 touchdowns. Midway through the first quarter. Here the catch is made way downfield, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. Falcons take it at the 6, now trailing by 7. Thomas is going to take off here, and he capped off the 7-play drive with the score. The lead now at 17.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half 2. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And to give this time to the tailback. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They'll drop to throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Ryan Quigley now, and he's had all kinds of problems just getting punts off so far. Here's Thomas. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we've got
the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Looking to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. Returnable for Thomas. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though?
Absolutely.
They find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd down now after the incompletion. They'll set up to throw. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. The Falcons on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now remember, they had 2 last week in the win, obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2. Alert for anything out there. Watching for trouble on the road. And making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this one's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's third down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Let's go.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett in there to get him again. The third time he sacked him here tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. A chance here on this drive to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark.
Throw him the ball. Throw him the ball. Forget analysis, all right? Let's just root a little bit here. Get him the football and get past that 200-yard mark.
Well, you want that. You seem excited.
I know, and it's really weird because normally I want guys to intercept the ball.
Right.
All right? I want to knock it down. In this case, he's been fun to watch.
The former DB rooting for the wide receivers. Give him 30 yards there.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he rifles one incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And Rudolph has it left side. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd down following the run.
All right, here we go. Blue landing.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. He'll look to throw. Oh, some strong running. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A really good pickup of 28 yards. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Strong right. Strong right. Strong right.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. So a collective holding of breath here as the starter heads for the sideline. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And they'll turn things over here to the backup to see if he can dig him out of this hole. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, I guess we're at the stage here where they wouldn't say no to any points, but I don't think field goals are what they're looking for here in the 2nd half.
I don't either, Brandon. When you're down as much as they are, that's the sign of a head coach waving the white flag to me.
So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. A look at Dante Moncrief. He and the offense getting ready to go again here. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards. But, hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, it means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They go play action here on 1st down. Looking deep for Julio. And that's caught inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Another carry for the workhorse tonight. Freeman down to the 25. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Back to throw. Completes it to Moncrief, left side. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Watch 84. Watch 84. He's going. Now let's go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Complete outright to Jake Butt. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now a handoff. It's Freeman looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you described that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was zero space, no gain. I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Anthony Barr in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. 14 yards that time for number 14.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw here. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down.
Let's go. Watch it now, Barney.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now back to throw. Completes it right side to Dodson. And he takes it down deep into Atlanta territory. They give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
In the red zone this time. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. The quick slant caught. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. He's at the 50. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Freeman again. fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down.
Green 39! Green 39!
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A handoff. Devontae Freeman. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. Good!
Freeman at tailback. He's got it running left. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Hang on now.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. So with 4th down looming, Dan Quinn sends out his field goal unit. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. Jackson with a grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
And Rudolph has it, the tight end. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Fresh set of downs here.
Single. Motion. Here we go. Blue 90.
He'll They'll drop to throw. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 6 there on first.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Grady Jarrett in there yet again. My goodness, making 5 sacks for him now in this one game alone.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Check 25.
They'll drop to throw. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here's Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down, that's Freeman. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense, because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
And they won't run a play here, no victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more. And Charles, if you're the coach of the losing team, even though you made it to the playoffs and there's part of that feels good, what do you say to your guys after?
I think you probably tell them how proud you are of them to make the effort to get to this game, and then point them towards the future. If we're good enough to get here, all we've got to do is work harder, be better, and we can be good enough to go farther next season. How many times have we seen a team lose in the playoffs, and that girds them for a championship run in the future?
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say 24-hour cheesesteak shop, here we come.
Oh, yeah, and I'm buying, partner. And guess what? I'm having mine with.
And I'm having 2 if you're buying. Good night from Philadelphia.